What's up, dudes and dudettes? How you all doing today? Or I should say, to evening. Listening to some Joy Electric and gonna go through some stuff. When I say stuff, I mean I was gonna show some movies and talk about some movies tonight, and get just to mix it up a bit, See, I haven't done a live stream in a couple of days. I know Tuesday night at 8:30 East Coast time. It's probably not the most happening time of the day of the week, but I thought I'd give it the old college try and see what happens. So if you could please bear with me as I do this and see how things go. I always usually have a few faithful friends pop on and hang out with me for a bit. So we'll do that and see how things kind of transpire. So I got some cards I need to go through as well. Well, that's a shiny card right there. Kershaw. Strasburg, maybe. Maybe they'll hold on to him. Corey Seager goes over here. Insert. Ooh, insert. That's part of my rookie card, Billy Butler. Seth Lugo. Oh, I got somebody popped on, surprised me. Hey, what's up, Jonathan? Did you finish my video? I know you said you were just in the middle of watching it. What'd you think? Did it meet to your standard? Oh, shoot. Okay, never mind. I just pulled. You're right. I'm going to give you all my Marlins cards, so you should be excited about that probably. I can't imagine. There's not a single Marlins player, aside from Ichiro, I would even collect. So, I just pulled this out of a pack a couple days ago, so I'm going to put that in my PED PC. Yeah. Children of the Lord. I pulled this out of there too. It's kind of cool. I just had a couple sleeves I want to put a few cards in before I forgot, so I was gonna grab a couple. I pulled this Max Scherzer, which is kind of cool, and then I got a Manny Machado. The love, yeah. I got a bunch of VHS. I'm putting a bunch of VHS and DVDs and Blu-rays on eBay. Yeah, I love binders, dude. That's how I collect, honestly. I mean, unless it's like an autograph or a relic or a numbered card or some sort of high-end like refractor type of deal, insert kind of card, I almost always put all my cards in binders. Because I PC who I PC, and then it's just all like, I don't care. So that's the reason why when I send care packages, it's like literally whatever I can find laying around, I just put it in there. Like, I don't have any attachment to, JD Martinez or Jose Fernandez or Chris Davis or whoever, Manny Machado. Like, I have no interest in those guys. So, usually if I have them laying around or I can find, because I got crap all over the place, I just throw all in a care package and send it off, and I don't think twice about it. You know, like I said, sometimes people are excited, I'm assuming, with like my care packages. And if they're not, you know, because a lot of times people, I think, expect high-end stuff, even though it's free and somebody's giving it out of their kindness of their heart. I think some people are like, you mean I didn't get any autographs or no relic cards or no high-end inserts or no like numbered short prints? And it's like, no, man, like those are the things I'm keeping, you know? I'm keeping that stuff for myself. But any other card, any other like just regular insert base card, whatever, you can have it. Like I have no interest in it. But I think sometimes you can tell people are like, oh, that was nice care package, thank you. And they're expecting like a big, huge, bomb of a, big bomb of a card. And I mean, like, I don't think I'm gonna send out to Bob. I actually have a few pirate relic cards. I didn't think I had them, but it's a secret. Shh. But I'm gonna send him a couple of those because he gave me that Sasaki jersey card. That was awesome. Exactly, man. It's a care package for a reason. So I mean, so many people just get. I mean, they don't say it, but yeah. I mean, Bob Lewis blew my mailbox up last weekend, man. It was like unbelievable. So, him and I've already talked. I think he has an idea like at least one. Hey, what is up? The party can start now. But like we already talked. He knows he has one coming, but I found another one when I was going through my cards. So I'm going to send him another one, which hopefully he'll enjoy because I know he knows it does not come in. Actually, I can show you all right now what I'm going to send him now that I have it pulled up here. I have a bunch of insert cards, so he kind of knows. He kind of knows this is coming. The Tom Gozolani, but this is the one I'm going to surprise him with. The Bill Matlock jersey card. That's the one I'm going to send him. So, and then I have like all these insert cards, and I got a whole bunch of other probably inserts and like just base cards for him. There's a McCutcheon on there. So that's going to go to him here soon. I just need to find time in my day to send it. Listen to some Joy Electric, talking to Jonathan. I know, talking about how sometimes when people get care packages, I've noticed in some videos that people kind of like feel like they don't say it because it'd be awful and just like nobody would ever send them another thing. But it seems like I've noticed on a couple of care package videos, like some people are expecting some like huge autographs or graded cards or like real high-end vintage, and then they get a bunch of base or low-end inserts or whatever. You can like, the people are like, well, thanks for the care package, man. That's cool. I mean, like, I'm genuinely stoked to get anything. I mean, like, I'm basically going to start a Reds binder collection of just Reds ballplates because I'm starting to get so many, and I never would have thought about doing it before, but I'm so appreciative that people think about me when they think of Jason, they think Reds. What is up, Hitman? What is going on? How you doing, brother? But you got so many people sometimes who don't seem that grateful for the cards they're getting, Exactly. Care packages are so awesome, and I think sometimes some people have taken it to the next level with care packages, and that's cool that people do that. SSDD. Mike, what's that supposed to mean? Super sexy, dapper dudes? Wink, wink. But like I think you could tell like some people take it to the next level. Like Tony and Bob blew me out of the water, with the care packages. I sent them things I just thought they would like. I wasn't trying to, try to like be like, how look at all the cool stuff I'm sending you, or look at all this like really awesome stuff. Like pay attention to me. I just was like, hey, I hope you like it, and they really went out and beyond to give me really nice care packages. But I think I'm appreciative of anything. And like I was saying, that's the reason why I got those Reds. I'm starting a Reds binder just for the Reds players. Just because so many people think Jason, think Reds. And that's great. I'm very appreciative of it. But sometimes I've been watching these videos and I see that sometimes people just kind of like, oh, man, that's cool. Thanks. And I don't know, man. I just don't know. I mean, like I was talking to Pepino Man, Caesar, We talked on the phone about a couple of days ago, I guess, over the weekend. Yeah, exactly. I just passed it on. I hope other people appreciate it. But he says that he honestly said that sometimes it's overwhelming because he's one of the bigger names out there in our community that does a lot of like care package videos. Like Mike doesn't really do them that much. Ed doesn't do them. Mike O or Mike baseball card collector. I mean, those are some of the other big names that you see that have like over 1,000, subs and stuff like that. But Pepino Man, Caesar's one of those guys that still receives a lot of care packages, and he said, that one video he was telling me, I remember watching, he had like 20-something care packages in a matter of a week or two or something. And, it's just like, and he obviously said he was super grateful and very appreciative of it, but it's just like, people are going crazy with these care packages, and I think sometimes, the people are sending them to, or they just want to blow the things up, and I can't believe it. He is a popular dude. That is true. He's very well liked. Well, he's funny. I mean, he has something. What is up, Victor? My brother from another mother. But he's one of those guys that he has his own style, and no one should ever even attempt to copy it. And I'm a pretty funny, outgoing guy. At least I think I'm a funny guy. But I would never want to attempt to try to do anything he's doing because he already has the market cornered when it comes to some of the outrageous things he does, which is fair. I love it. But, sometimes, people don't like it or, people, give him a hard time. But, I think it's great. I mean, I thought it was hilarious when he cut up that Trout rookie card that he cut up. I mean, people, if you go back and look at the views and they're not on the inside track or whatever, people like losing their minds thinking he cut up that Trout rookie card, and as fan, I just love stuff like that. He's the only person who does that and kind of gets away with it. Like, baseball collector Mike, he did that video last week with him and his wife Julie. I thought it was hilarious, but apparently he said that like it had like 15 or 16 thumbs down or something. And I don't know what people just don't know how to take a joke sometimes. They're like, people get so like uptight. It's like, come on, it's just for fun. His wife's hilarious, but it's hilarious. I collect the Reds and I also collect the Yankees, but I know there's like 2 or 3 guys in the community that are huge Yankees fans, way bigger than me. So I kind of stopped bringing it up so much because just in case people do care packages, I don't want to be greedy or something like that. Exactly. Have fun or go home, man. Totally. But, I don't want to sound like, because everybody says the Yankees, so I say the Reds more than anything. They are my hometown team. I'm in Indiana. But I grew up with them, as a kid, and whenever I watch TV baseball, the Reds are on with the Fox, local Fox channel. So, yeah, bulletproof top loaders. I bet he has a whole list of bulletproof one-touches also and everything now. But I like the Yankees. But, really, I just like the cards. I just enjoy the players. I like the vintage all the way thing that came out yesterday. I'm a big fan. Yeah, exactly. Cubs, Yankees, and Red Sox. That's the reason why, like, Bob cleans house, because he's like the only Pirates fan I know. And Justin scopes big hits. No one else is talking about the Milwaukee Brewers. So he's good there. Tony talks a lot about the Oakland A's. Is that his team? Again, I don't know any other big A's collectors out there. And then, those are sometimes I think of those guys as team collectors. And I'm sure I'm forgetting people. Like, Pepino Man does the Dodgers, but Dodgers have a pretty big representation, I think, too. But, yeah, Reds, between me and the other guy named Chris Hansen, and I think Chris Hansen is more of a Joey Votto collector than a Reds collector, though I know he's a big fan of the Reds. He's also, close to them as well. He's closer than me. He's in Ohio. But, I'm just a big Reds fan. And, like, at the end of the day, like, this past week is a good example. My son went to a birthday party. The day before, we went to go shopping at a Meijer. I don't know where you all live, everybody lives, but Meijer is kind of like a Walmart or a Target. Yeah, the Great American Ballpark's awesome. Exactly. We went there to go shopping for his friend to get a birthday card and all that jazz. But when we walked by the toy section, they had baseball cards in there that aisle. We looked, and he really wanted me to buy some packs. But you know, I just kind of, at the time I was like, we're not here to buy this. We're here to buy stuff for your friend. So when he goes the Meyer for the win, yeah. So so I went back while he was at the party and surprised him, and I picked up 2 boxes, which we filmed, and I'll release those videos the next couple of days of us opening the packs. But he was so excited about opening the packs and having fun. And you know, I don't usually buy a lot of modern day stuff just because I don't want to spend $20 a pop on a brand new box of cards for, you know, that I might get a couple refractors and maybe a few inserts, and that's it. You know, I might get lucky and get the hot new player of the day, and then or rookie card of the day, and that's it. You know, because a lot of times, you know, I'm just not into, you know, prospecting, and I just don't have the money for it. But he really wanted to open some packs. He very rarely shows any interest, so I ran over and picked up a couple boxes. I picked up I picked up a box of this because it was on sale. It was like half off, so it was like $15 or something, $16, I don't know. And then I picked up one of those boxes of those 11 random packs in the box. It was like bases loaded or something. And we had fun opening it. The bases load was kind of crappy, but you know, they had a bunch of like Babe Ruth packs and triple play packs, and you know, it was fine. But we had fun opening the packs. The top stuff, 2017 was fun. I mean, we had quite a few hits. When I say hits, I say inserts and card. You know, people I get, like, you know, like the people IPC. Oh, whoops, where did they all go? Oh, here we go. I hit a couple cool, like Ivan Rodriguez. I just posted a video of my Pudge collection. Pull that, Nolan Ryan. Got a couple cool inserts. You know, and this is the kind of stuff that makes me happy. I got this Max Scherzer insert. Addison Russell 5-tool insert. I don't know, some kind of shiny card. I don't know what you call that. It's not a chrome card. I don't know, it's Razzle Dazzle. And then a Joe Mauer insert card. I mean, I don't collect those guys, but they're inserts, and if somebody wants them down the line, or somebody's a collector of that player or that team, they go in the care package, you know, because I know the inserts obviously are usually a little bit more desirable than just some random base card of whoever. So I try to keep those off to the side for people. And then I always pull players that people might like to collect. I don't collect them, but I pull them off, like a Ryan Braun, Miggy, Corey Seager, Rookie Cup, Strasburg, and then Clayton Kershaw. So, you know, I have a whole bunch more to go through, but those are the ones I just recently went through. I need to go back and look at all these cards and all these posts. Oh, I didn't realize it. Oh, yeah, Titanic Taters, I did. I don't know Smitty, but, yeah, I do know that Titanic Taters is an Ace fan. Yeah. Well, yeah, I forgot all about you, Mike. I know you like your Yankees, too. That's just another person in the group. Marlins first, yeah. Yeah, Big Poppy's super popular. He's big popular. I'm a simple kind of man. Yeah, I mean, my son is like, I'm sure, like, if we have kids, have had kids in the past, you know, when they're kids, not, you know, they're adults now or teenagers or whatever. But I mean, like, so many of us who have more than likely boys, you know, they want to open packs, but then at least in my son's case, he likes to open them, he likes to show them off, he likes to get excited about it, but then he's like, all right, here you go, Dad, I don't want them. You know, he doesn't want to keep them, he doesn't want to collect them, nothing. So, yeah, Mike, I know Mike lives in Florida. I think, I'm not for sure where, but Naples. Okay, there you go. Hello. So I was going to ask this question. I asked this question yesterday, and Myco's Myco had a sale, a fire sale going on, That's awesome. That's so cool that your son's into it, dude. Yeah, I mean, my son had like about 6 months. He was really big into football cards. I don't like football. I've never really liked football that much. He just all of a sudden was all about oh shoot, what's the guy? The one dude's name was blonde hair, and he's a Giants. He was hurt last season. Odell Beckham Jr. That's who it is. But he was big into football, maybe more Odell Beckham Jr. than anybody else. I don't really know why. So we were collecting. I was helping him collect football cards, and then all of a sudden it was like cold turkey to stop. So I don't know. It is what it is, you know. Them youngsters, you just never know. So, you need to make sure you tell Raphael and Jim. He lives in Miami also, or apparently close to Miami. He might not live in Miami proper, but when him and I talk on the phone, he tells me that he lives in a certain area of Miami, or like I said, close to it. So you all should definitely all hook up. Oh, yeah. Sorry, thank you. So I know it's August, heading towards September. We're on the other side of August now. Who do you all think are going to make it to? Who do you all think is going to make it to the World Series? Like, really make it to the World Series? Not who you want to make it, but who do you think are the few teams that are stacking up to be in the World Series? I'm just interested to kind of get a feel for everybody because I live in a non-baseball area, so I don't get to talk to a lot of baseball fans. So I just really don't know. Like, it's kind of hard to talk to people because no one wants to talk about baseball. They just want to talk about college sports or pro football. And like I said, around here, it's kind of, they're only fans. Yeah, but yeah, the Red Sox are definitely doing pretty well right now. That's for sure. And but at this point, they're probably not going to lose any steam either. They're probably going to go all the way to the playoffs easily. So I'm interested to see what you all think. Yeah. I kind of want to see. I'm kind of thinking. This is my sleeper. Is Astros Phillies. That's what I'm thinking. But realistically, I'm thinking Red Sox Dodgers. But wow, who would I like to see? Is that? Yeah, and they just don't lose. You're right. They're just awesome, dude. Yeah, the Red Sox have just been awesome. People will get excited about that World Series for sure because you got East Coast and West Coast, and they have fans all in between. So, yeah, the Cubs and the Yankees World Series. It won't be this year, I don't think, but that would be an awesome World Series for sure. I don't think it's been a World Series like that, those two teams, for what, like 100 years. Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's very possible. But I think that I don't see a downside with Boston right now. I mean, I just don't. I feel like they're firing all cylinders. So unless something major happens, which obviously can happen, yeah. Yeah, maybe we see Pepino Man. Maybe he'll like run naked onto the field as a homage to his pool video that he did way back when. It's amazing that, he was saying like on his videos, he's never said this to me privately on the phone, but like, you don't really, if you're on the grounds crew or whatever that's the technical term's called, I think it's grounds crew, you're not supposed to talk to the players or something. It's like you don't even exist, and you just go there and just do your thing. I kind of find it shocking. Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, he like take off his shirt and then it says like Pepino Man on you, like Pepino on YouTube. It would go crazy. He'll retire. That'd be hilarious. I don't think he'll retire. I think he's too young to retire still. He's not that much older than I am. Well, I don't think so. I think he told me he was born in like the mid 70s. So I mean, we're around the same age. So I wish I could think about being a, like, you know, whatever, 45, 46 years old and think about retiring, but that ain't gonna happen anytime soon. I'm probably stuck working until I'm like about 60 at least. So lame. On a completely unrelated note, I don't know if anybody in here is a fan of this movie, but I kind of want to ask people about this movie because I'm a huge fan. I picked this up when I used to live in Korea, but obviously you can figure out what it is. It says on the bottom. Open Range. The movie Open Range. Has anybody ever seen this movie? I love this movie. It's one of the few like modern day westerns I really dig. And I currently have it on eBay right now because I have other copies. But, you know, I just was wondering if anybody's ever seen this movie before. I know you all probably mostly want to talk about baseball, and I do too, but I was just wondering. It's a Kevin Costner, Robert Duvall, Annette Bening joint. If you like westerns, you might like it. If you don't like westerns, you probably would hate it because it's a western. But it's I really like it a lot. It's a very good throwback western film. So yeah. I mean, if you like westerns, I think I would like for you to see. Tell me what you think about it. But it kind of has a Tombstone feel. If you know the movie Tombstone with Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer, it kind of has that feel. It's like, you know, they don't want to be bad. They don't want to take people's lives because they're the good guys, but push comes to shove, you're gonna die. It's kind of like that without giving anything away. But yeah, it's a good movie. I enjoy it. I'm gonna go through a couple flicks and see people. Obviously, we could talk about it, other stuff, but I'm just gonna kind of throw some stuff out there. What about this? Is a weird one. Requiem for a Dream. This came out like the early aughts, I believe, like 2000 maybe. It's about addiction, all kinds of addiction, but it's a very weird film. I really like it a lot. It's by the director Darren Aronofsky. Sorry. But I think that's the same director that went on to do like The Wrestler and like The Fountain. But this is like, I think, one of his first films, if not his first film. But it's a very weird movie. Very well. Like, as you can tell, like some Jared Leto, young Marlon Wayans, Jennifer Connelly, younger-ish. But it's a really good movie. But it's a movie that people don't talk about that much anymore. I kind of stumbled upon it. You know, it's funny. I talked to Mike O. Excuse me. I talked to Mike O this morning just to pass along, hey, you know, it's Jason. I mean, we're friends on Facebook, but I know he said send him an email, so I just sent him a message on Facebook Messenger. And I told him, I was like, I think I won 3 cards. He said he hasn't finished tallying up everybody's wins or whatnot. But I think I won the Ichiro, I won the Billy Hamilton, and I won the Sandy Koufax. I think the total I spent was like shy of $10. That's including shipping. So I told him, hey man, just let me know what I owe you, and I'll send you the cash. But it was funny because I told him, I was like, I was all into it, like I was bidding on stuff and I was talking, and you know, I was probably being obnoxious and probably pissing people off because I just was being myself, which is either you like me or you don't like me, which is fine. But I was telling him, I was just like, I was all into the bidding, and then all of a sudden I just fell asleep. Like literally, I was like, the phone probably slipped out of my hand, and I was out. I woke up the next morning or middle of the night and was like, oh shoot, I'm missing the auction. What, I gotta get back on here. And then I realized like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh man, I know everybody's in bed now. But yeah, it was kind of crazy because I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I'm having such a good time. But that one guy, what was that? What was his name? Like Purple PT or Purple T something. He was just like throwing money out left and right. It was a late night. You're exactly right. Yeah, well, I don't have any interest in purple GT. That's it. Yeah, that guy. I would throw in a buck or two, and he'd be like $8, and I'm like, okay, you really want that card? You can have it. I'm not paying. I'm not going over $8. That's for sure. I mean, unless it was like an Ichiro autograph or rookie card, then I probably would definitely have went for it. But that was pretty funny. Oh yeah, the plasma comment. Hey, what's up, Donnie? Yeah, like seriously, I forgot I said that. I was starting to get real slap happy, but that I don't really want to blame that on lack of sleep. I'm just that way anyways. But yeah, that was true, man. Like I couldn't keep up with that guy. None of us could. No one was outbidding him. Like when he really wanted a card, he would just go like $2 or $3 over everybody else out of the gate. So everybody was like betting a quarter, he bet $2. So I bet $2, he beat $4. And I'm just like, all right, dude, that's good. I'm going to sit back here and relax and watch Mike count this down real quick. For sure. I know. I can't believe it. That guy was crazy about that, man. It was like bidding around all over the place. I mean, he could have easily won most of those cards for bidding a quarter up on most people. I mean... But after he did that, about 2 or 3 other people started bidding kind of like that. They weren't going as crazy, but like if, you know, Jonathan, you put 50 cents, the other guy would be like $1. Or if you put $1, they put like $1.50. So they're like jumping increments because purple GT or PT or T-Bird or purple People Eater, whatever his name was just like blowing it out of the water every time he said, you know, he posted a prize. I was like, come on, man. I was like, there ain't no blood banks open. I can't sell my plasma this fast and this late at night to keep up with what you're doing. I was just like, come on, bring somebody over. Let's get this done. I need to get this money. Dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill. Talking about blood, Dexter. Anybody ever seen this TV show? Takes place in Miami. Oh, Miami. I love this flick, or I'm sorry, this TV show. Such a good movie, or TV show, sorry. I hated the way it ended, which I'm not going to ruin unless other people have seen it. But I just hated the way this TV show ended. 7 seasons of general overall awesomeness. There's a couple weak episodes and a couple weaker seasons, but overall it's a really good show. And they completely screwed the pooch in the last season. Yeah. Well, you know, hey, what's up, Izzy? Yeah, you know, actually, Jennifer Carpenter, who plays Deborah, she's from my hometown. She's from Louisville, Kentucky. I think it was awesome. I mean, the good and the bad. Yeah, no kidding. But Jennifer Carpenter's from my hometown. And a cool little side note was her and I mean, I'm probably like 4 or 5 years older than her. I'm assuming, close to it. And when I went to college, I came back in town to visit, and people were talking about there's this really great actress that's coming out of Louisville that's making lots of waves. And she had just started, you know, as in high school or something. And it was Jennifer Carpenter. Everybody was talking about how great she was, doing lots of like local, like high school plays or like local venue type stuff. And they're like, you know, she's a really good actress, and people are starting to pay attention. And then I was like, I wanted to check this out. And then all of a sudden it was like, I didn't think much about it. And then I fast forward like 5 years later, it's like she's one of the stars of Dexter. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Kind of the same thing with Jennifer Lawrence, who's from Louisville also. Everybody was like, oh, she's going to be a big movie star. And all of a sudden she really became a big movie star. So Louisville's produced a few really good actresses in the last couple years, which is kind of cool. But I really like this TV show. Talking about Jennifer Carpenter, Deborah, there she is. She has like that really weird, I don't want to say weird, but very unique look that either you can find her attractive or you don't. She kind of has that face that in certain situations I can see her being attractive, and other times I'm kind of like, eh. So, but yeah, she definitely is a very good actress. I wish she did more work. I mean, she did that one movie called, I think, The Raven with John Cusack about 6 years ago. Probably still during the time of her being on Dexter. And that's like the only 2 things I know that she's been in, so. Yeah, doesn't he play somebody who's British or something? I saw that pop on. I've been wanting to watch it. I thought I saw the trailer and preview on Netflix, and he has a British accent, and I'm like, what? Really? Or maybe that's his real accent. I don't know if he's from England or not, but I thought he had a British accent, and everybody else I think on the show is British, so I don't know if he's pretending to be a British actor, a Brit, or he actually is one. I don't know. Bob, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Lewis. What is up, Buttercup? We're just rocking out. Rock out with our socks out tonight, buddy. Dollar bill, y'all. Bob in the house with the dollar bills. But yeah. Yeah, I didn't think so. Have you ever seen the movie Cold Night in July, I think it's called? Or A Cold Day in July that he's in? Dude, he is fantastic in that movie. He plays like this kind of like hill jack redneck dude who is in the right place at the right time and ends up, somebody breaks into his house, Sam Shepard's son, and he ends up killing him in his own house because he's coming in to break in and like steal stuff or whatever. So the Michael C. Hall character ends up killing this guy, and his dad ends up being like this like major BA, killer. I don't know about killer, but probably killer, but like lifetime criminal. And Michael C. Hall is the main star in it, and Woody Harrelson's in it. And this is a great, great movie. I think Woody Harrelson's in this too. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm starting to run. Some of those movies, like, look at my hair, it's like so fancy. It's like I'm looking like Flock of Seagulls, like circa 1983. But Cold Day in July, check it out, guys. Michael C. Hall is fantastic. He rocks the 80s mustache and literally the 80s, like Andre Agassi mullet. Like kind of stringy mullet that's kind of like, like curls out. He like totally went full hill jack in the movie. It's awesome. Has some serious flow. Are you talking about my hair? Is it flowing? It looks like some kind of like wave. Woo! I'm going to get a haircut on Thursday. I'm going to have it all shaved off, I think. Well, here's the thing, man. I'm already fat, so if I'm fat and bald, it's like even worse. So at least if I'm fat and I have a full head of hair, I got that going for me. At least I got that full head of hair, so I got to take my little blessings when I can. So... yeah, I mean, they tell you once you have kids, you just always lose your figure, and I guess that's true. I mean, what can I say, It happens. Sorry, ladies. We're listening to some Joy Electric tunes. Hopefully you all can hear it. Oh, hey, what is going on? Now, everybody, was it Believe in the Sound? That's Raphael's cousin's husband, I believe. I'm sure you can speak to it better than me, dude. But that's how I found out about Believe in the Sound. I like his channel. He talks a lot about music. If you're a music person, he's pretty good. He breaks down lots of albums. I really like his stuff. I know Raphael was like, give him a listen or check him out. So I did, and I'm starting to work my way through his channel, but I'm really enjoying what I'm hearing so far. Keep up the good work, dude. Yeah, man. Thank you. You do awesome. I'm listening to some Joy Electric right now. I don't know if that's your style, if that's what you're into, or you may actually hate it. I don't know, but I'm listening to some Joy Electric. That's my jam. That's my jam. Oh, you know who Joy Electric is? That's cool. Glad you can dig it, man. Dig it. We got to dig it. My dad bought him Full Effect, yeah. You look like a like a New York runway model, Bob, compared to me. I look like Quasimodo for my bell tower. The best show ever. Yeah, indeed. In its glory. In its gloriness. So yeah. I'm just going through some of my collection and like thinning out the collection, putting some stuff on eBay. So yeah. Yeah, you are the skinniest fat guy I know. Well, that might be true. I got another one. This is kind of a cool thing. I picked this up at a flea or a, I don't know, like at a what do you call it? I got this from a pawn shop for $1. And all the movies are still in their seal. They're still sealed, which is kind of cool. I'm not even a Japanimation fan, but Dragon Ball Z, apparently the kids like it. The kids like it. Those otaku, which is Japanese for like super nerds, they're big into it. Apparently, whoever this guy is beating the holy crap out of O guy. Yeah, I got it for $1, man. Seal, never been opened. Couldn't believe it. I was like, what? And it goes on eBay for like 30, 40, 50 bucks. So I was like, on eBay you go. I always like making a little extra money on the side, you know. Whenever I'm not selling plasma, I'm doing one of these. Plasma is my #1 best way to make quick money. Whenever I'm going up against Purple PT or Purple People Eater on Mike O's channel. You gotta do the hustle. Do the hustle. Yeah. You all didn't know I could bust out some 70s, did you? Buttercup Fairy Jamboree. I mean, that's like seriously some of the most heterosexually challenged music I've ever heard. No flipping ever hurt anybody. Never hurt nobody. This is Joy Electric's song called Buttercup Fairy Jamboree, dude. Legit. Like, that's the name of the song. Holy guacamole. Here is a movie that is not a Japanimation flick. Made in the Australian Bayou. It's rogue. Underrated. That might sound a little bit more Scottish now that I think about it. We didn't get all dressed up for nothing. You'll never take my freedom. Now I'm really going off the rails because that has nothing to do with this movie. Oh yeah, flipping Pokemon cards in middle school, dude. Sweet. Pika Pika. My son told me that he read an article online or something at school, or somebody told him or whatever that yes, Tremors, dude. Kevin Bacon, love me some Tremors, dude. That was on Reba McEntire back in like 86, 87. Love that, love it. But he said that there was like a thing in Japan when like Pokemon first came out, all that like super flashing, like strobe light flashing, caused kids to go to the hospital with like seizures. And then I was like, do what? And he was like, yeah, like he read an article that kids were like having seizures from watching the show at their home because there's so many quick flashes and causing kids like going to epileptic seizures or something. I don't know. And then my son goes, I don't want to watch any more Pokemon. And I'm like, he's almost 10 years old. I'm like, you don't watch Pokemon anyways. You're totally fine. He's like, oh yeah, I guess that's true. It's like, we're watching Pokemon nonstop now just because I think it'll be hilarious to freak you out. Rogue, not the superhero from the X-Men movies either. I know she looks kind of sexy with her mouth open like this and her teeth showing, but this is not the character from the Marvel movies X-Men. This is a totally different movie. So just in case you're all confused, I want to make sure I made it clear. This Buttercup Fairy Jamboree is killing me, man. This music is cracking me up. Sometimes the stuff that Ronnie Martin puts out, it makes me just wonder. I mean, He's not doing it much anymore. He's a pastor at a church in Ohio now. But he said he's doing a new album, so I can't wait. I for one will be excited to see it. Now we got a little bit of blaxploitation. We got Truck Turner, Isaac Hayes, Sir Isaac Hayes as Truck Turner. I love it. If you like blaxploitation, if you like 70s soul and R&B, you got to check out blaxploitation films, man. Their music, the soundtrack to a lot of those movies are so awesome. It's kind of a time capsule because if you think about it, a lot of that music was not popular in the 70s at all because predominantly it's what people was popular, which is whatever white America was listening to, was what prevailed. And I'm not saying like anything negative about it. I'm just saying that's what it was. So a lot of the music that was really good, that was like urban music that was from these movies, never really made it into the mainstream. That's all I'm trying to say. But if you get a chance to check out any blaxploitation films, listen to the music. The music is just outstanding, and a lot of people don't know about it. It's so good. I highly recommend people giving it a shot because I think you'll be surprised. And some of the music you'll recognize, obviously, like Sly and the Family Stone and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you'll know all that. You'll know James Brown and all that. But there are a lot of guys out there you wouldn't know. Seriously, you saw a girl fall out with a seizure at an arcade? What? Yeah, I have a friend who has epilepsy, and I've seen her have seizures, but it had nothing to do with Pokemon, that's for sure. I would have freaked out if it did. I would have been like, oh my gosh. But yeah, man, blaxploitation films, 1970, definitely check it out. Playing that dancing game. Oh yeah, that Dance Dance Revolution DDR. I remember that. Oh my god. Oh yes, Black Dynamite. I love Black Dynamite. Cream corn! Cream corn! Get over here, cream corn! Oh my gosh, that's such a great movie. They've been selling them drugs into the youths. They be selling those drugs to all the young people. Well, I'm gonna go down there, I'm gonna clean up shop, I'm gonna kill all them drug dealers pushing drugs. And then Cedric Yarborough's like, but Black Dynamite, I'm one of them drug dealers selling them drugs to them kids. It's so funny. And then Black Dynamite looks at him like, you better stop selling them drugs. That's such a good movie. I'm by far doing that movie justice. But yes, that's one of my favorite movies. Not even blaxploitation. This is one of my favorite movies all together. For sure. Woo! Yeah, yeah, Ric Flair. Woo! My son loves doing that. He's always like, Dad, do it. I'm like, you do it. And he's always like, woo! And I'm like, no, you gotta go back to back here. And just be like really push it out. Like you're like literally the nature boy, Ric Flair, as he's strutting. And then he just lets out the woo! You gotta do it. But then you have Matt, Passion for Cards, who should be doing, I know I say this like all the time, but I'm gotta keep going with this, who sound like Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. We should like do some kind of combination. I gotta start pumping some iron if I'm gonna have the same body that Ric Flair has even now. Even though he's like a great grandfather, he's still in better shape than I am. I'll be like, so I can go out there and just like do my strut. Right on out there. I always liked that he would do the strut and then somebody would just walk, whoever the wrestler he was fighting would just walk right to him and go, slap him right in the face, and he would just be like going straight down to the canvas. Like, he's like this bad Mama Jamba like 98% of the time, but this one slap to the face was all it took, and he just like fall straight down. And I'm like, Rick, really? This is all it took is a slap to the mouth, and then you're down? You're like, what were we watching, Glass Jaw Joe or Glass I think was that from the Mike Tyson Punch Out, Glass Jaw Joe or Joe Glass Jaw or something. It's like, come on now. We both know that you ain't no glass jaw. Here we go. My grandfather, the Cubist. The Cubist. It'd be nice if I could read and speak and enunciate English, but apparently it's been difficult for me. Sometimes I'll forget to pronounce certain English words that I've lived so long in Asia. I have to think about how to pronounce the word. If it's a word I don't use very often or think about, I'm always like, hold on, wait, what? How do I pronounce this again? Because I want to say it sound like Japanese when I say it. Here is a childhood film that I'm sure most of us know about. Mogwai. Yes, Gizmo. And it's Gremlins with Spike coming at you. Yes. I mean, my dad and mom, but especially my dad, had like no filter. He let me watch, or let us, but especially me, watch whatever I wanted. So when I was a kid growing up, there was nobody telling me what I can and can't watch. Well, that's because your son has good taste. But my dad would let me watch whatever I wanted, and so I would watch horror movies. And I've talked about this a little bit before, but like I'd watch stuff that I really should be watching, and I'd scare the piss out of myself. But I would never let my mom and dad know, because if I did, they'd make me stop watching whatever. Because they always ask me, "So are you scared? Was that scary?" I'm like, "No, it was cool." They're like, "Okay, carry on." So I would watch all kinds of crazy stuff, and then in my room at night, in my bunk bed, my brother, I'd be like seriously freaking out, like I'm gonna get murdered in my bed by some like awful gremlin or, you know, some goblin or some zombie or vampire or whatever. Yeah. What backstory with the... You talking about Phoebe Cates? The one who... Phoebe Cates? Hey, man, take care. Thanks for stopping by, dude. Anytime. Same bat time, same bat channel. Maybe. But yeah, my dad and mom didn't care what I watched, honestly. They never did. We were the neighborhood family that had cable TV. I don't know if any of you all were old enough to remember, but cable used to come on a box. Like maybe 10-inch rectangular box with like a wood panel with like a bunch of buttons you could push, and then like up and down for more channels. And we'd have like Showtime and HBO, so a lot of those channels didn't have filters, and they let you watch rated R movies. And everybody come over to the house, and we just watch rated R movies all night long. We used to watch USA Up all night with Rhonda Shear, and sometimes with Gilbert Godfrey whenever and Elvira would show up, and we watch all these like, you know, sex comedies and sex romps of the 80s and all this kind of stuff, and they would just show just enough to let you get through the censors. We just sit up all night watching these movies. Like, it was so ridiculous. And then my dad let us go down and watch whatever he wanted. We go rent anything we wanted from the video shops. Oh, yeah. I thought you meant the actual actress. Yes, that was a really dark backstory for Phoebe Cates' character. Yes, they show it too, like him like stuck inside the chimney with his feet hanging down or something. It was legitimately disturbing for sure. I forgot all about that. I haven't seen the movie in a couple years, and the part that freaked me out about that movie, honestly, the thing that scared me the most is when Peltzer, well, I can't remember, Marty maybe, is that his first name? I can't remember Zach Galligan's name in the movie. Yes, that's why she hated Christmas. I remember when she grabs the one gremlin and sticks it in the blender, and it hits like frappe. And you see the gremlin like getting cut up inside and the legs sticking out, like whopping around. And it was like, yes, talking about him smell, I remember that now. And that scared the crap out of me, because she grabbed what looked like a real creature, shoved it inside all of a sudden I can't remember the food processor or whatever, blender, and this was like, and Oh my gosh. And they stuck the one in the microwave and you see it inside like trying to get out and like bubbles are starting to like pulsate and then it just goes and it was like, oh my gosh, that was so disturbing. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the blender. Death by blender. No Gremlin's friend. Not at all. And then like when I was a kid, when Gremlins Part 2 came out, they actually had a streaking gremlin, like a one that would strip, like streak. Or no, I'm sorry. Is that what is it? Was a streak? What's the one when you open up your coat? Is that kind of, that's not a streaker? What is it like? I don't know. I can't even remember what that is. But there was one on there for kids, a PG movie, and then you have a gremlin who's like exposing himself, and I was like, what in the world? Oh my gosh, yes. Well, in Children of the Corn, which is not a very gory movie, actually, you see a lot in what you think you see a lot in your head because they do a good job of taking you right up to the edge and they don't show it. But one of the scariest parts of that movie is when they're all in the cafe at the beginning of the movie at the restaurant and you see these teenagers in there, they're all sitting there with their families and mom and dad and all that. And all of a sudden, like, you know, Malachi walks in and kind of gives them the wink or the nod. And all of a sudden you see them all pull like sickles and knives out from their like pants or underneath the table or underneath the video game machine. And they just start killing all the adults and stuff. It was like, yes, Outlander! Outlander! Yes, I love that. He Who Walks Behind the Rose. Oh my gosh, such a good movie. Yes, I didn't live. You know the movie that scared me a lot when I was a kid, like super, like scared me as like a teenager. One that you wouldn't think would scare you, but it was like R-rated. It was more of an urban setting, and it was something that I'd never seen before, and it was like a little bit more based in reality, I guess, because of like who he was and what he became. Was Candyman. When I was scared to death. They pretty much just took the Bloody Mary thing and then urbanized it. And then when I found out that Cabrini Green is a real place in Chicago and all this stuff that was like based in like reality, I was like, oh my gosh. And like me and my friends, every weekend we'd be sitting in front of the mirror, pissing ourselves, going, Candyman. Candyman. Oh, I heard something. It's like he's in the shower or whatever, because it's like everybody would have to go in the bathroom and do Candyman. Like that's what they did in the movie. So, like, doing it in, like, the bedroom or in on the closet or whatever, you might have a mirror. Like, it didn't have the same effect. It had to be in the bathroom. It's like, yeah, he's coming right out of the crapper. You see his hook pop right on out. He's there. Don't sit down and do number 2 because he will be waiting. But I remember, like, being, like, mortified. Like, when my friends would be like, I heard something. Don't say it 3 times. And you always had the one friend who would be like, Candyman. And, like, we're like, oh, my gosh, we're going to die. But yes, it was awesome. Oh my gosh, I seriously like made me like wet myself multiple times. I'm gonna push this little button here. You know what? Gremlins is actually rated PG. That's the reason it was the 80s, and the 80s was beautiful. Because movies that definitely were inappropriate for children were rated low, like PG. Yes. If I watched Children of the Corn and went out to camp out the next day or the next week, I would probably end up having to sleep with some sort of weaponry. Because I would be for sure Malachi would show up with his crazy red hair and sickle and be like, Outlander! Yes. And don't they eat the heart in Temple of Doom? Doesn't like the main bad guys like eats the heart or something? I couldn't do that one, man. Yeah, if corn's everywhere, I would not be one. I'm not a big fan. See, Children of the Corn was scary to me, but I lived in the city, so it didn't like have the same effect. Now, even though I'm an adult, I went back and watched it like 10 years ago. And I live in an area now where there's a lot more corn, and it always does come to my mind all the time, like, oh gosh, there's cornfields everywhere now. That would have been. What do they eat? Isn't it Temple of Doom? They're eating like monkey's brains or something. They're all sitting down at a table and they're like eating like crazy stuff. I still won't watch it. That's funny. What about this? If we're talking about scary movies of the 80s, my Halloween Part Dose. Michael Myers. More of the night he came home. Yep, chilled monkey brains and snake surprise. That's it. Yeah, because they cut open the like boa constrictor, anaconda, and all the little snakes come rolling out, right? I remember that now. And they cut open the top of the baboon head, and it's like sitting in that little cauldron. Yes. Honestly, Alex, I'm not a huge fan of modern day remakes of horror movies. I mean, Rob Zombie already crapped all over the legacy of Halloween with his last two movies. So hopefully they can only go up from here. Because apparently John Carpenter's involved in some way. I know Jamie Lee Curtis is back. How she's coming back, I don't know. Consider she died in like the last one, like H2O. She died, but now all of a sudden she's alive. And so, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, you have continuity issues, just like X-Men movies. It's like there's all these continuity issues. What's canon and what's not. So assuming they're right, yeah. So, I mean, like, obviously you have the original series, which I actually love. Yes, it's called Hannibal. And it's, or is it Hannibal? Was it Hannibal or Red Dragon? I think it's Hannibal, but it's based off of the Silence of the Lambs Manhunter movie / book series. But yes, I think that's the same movie we're thinking about. I think that's right. They serve him his own brain, yeah. But, like, you know, you have the canon X-Men movies. You have the canon Halloween movies. And then Rob Zombie goes and does his Two Big Turds, which doesn't do anything for the series. And then now we'll fast forward to, 6 years later, 7 years later, whatever. Now they're redoing it. I don't know, like I guess it's a sequel to the last one, but again, she's dead. So maybe she has superpowers too, and she can come back to life like Michael Myers does. I mean, because if you go back and watch Jason, Friday the 13th, Part 7, it's called like, what is it called? Like, shoot. But it's Jason versus Carrie. A New Blood. Friday the 13th, Part 7 is Jason versus Carrie. Now, they don't call her Carrie, but that's who she is. Laura Park Lincoln plays this chick in that movie, and she has psychic powers. No explanation. It's the 80s. What do you expect? But Jason comes back to life after being like drowned and dragged to the bottom of the Crystal Lake, I guess. And then she starts screaming because she has like nightmares of her dad dying or something. And then all of a sudden her psychic connection with Jason brings him back to life. And then of course he hunts around for the next hour and a half, killing teenagers. And then they have a battle royale at the end where she's using her psychic powers against Jason. And I'm like, what? So maybe we're going to have one of those with Jamie Lee Curtis. Maybe she also now is immortal. And she's going after Michael Myers. It ain't even Michael Myers coming after her anymore. Could I have a question? I am probably not an expensive one. I have a question. I got a car not expensive that's marked with tracking as delivered 12 days ago. I would take it to your post office with the tracking number. Tell them it said it was supposed to be delivered. You don't have it, and have them go look, see if they can look for it. Because sometimes it gets lost, slides behind something, they forget about it, But if it's been a few days and you're telling me you have a locked box that no one else should be able to access, so the only people who have access is you, and the post office, employee, postman, postwoman, whatever. So I would definitely do that if I was you. Yeah, it could be the neighbors too, like Alex suggested. I mean, there's always that. I would knock on their doors, or maybe slide if you can slide like a little note in their mailbox and say, "Hey, I'm missing a piece of my mail. Did you happen to get it?" But I would probably contact or go into the post office and say, "Hey, this is what I would do." It was scanned? Then I would say they put it in the wrong box, dude. That's my thinking. They must have put it in the wrong box because you should easily have that. If it was scanned mail, well, you had something that wasn't very expensive get scanned. Whoever that seller was must be like top notch to have scanned mail come out to you if it's just a few dollar card. But that's what I would do. You know what Bruce Lee would do? He would judo chop whoever it was who'd be messing with my mail. He ain't playing around. He would wait for the culprit and then just bust out some jiu-jitsu. I'm sorry. What is he at? What is it that he keep was it June keep June Doe? Keep June Doe. I can't remember. It's Keep June Doe, I think, right? Is that what it's called? Jeet Kune Do. That's what it is. Or if you live out on the West Coast or the East Coast, like in New York, wasn't there somebody stealing the mail for like 10 years? That's the one benefit, generally speaking, living in the countryside. Almost everybody's taking care of each other, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Oh, I know. We're the ones who keep the U.S. Postal Service going. No kidding. Between all the care packages and eBay purchases and giveaways that we're doing to each other, for each other, not doing to each other, but giving, working out. That's crazy. Dude, I love Chuck Norris, but Chuck Norris would have got his butt handed to him by Bruce Lee. I'm saying it. I'm putting it out there. Even though supposedly they really fought in the movie Enter the Dragon. Supposedly. I don't know if there's any, I'm sure there's no film of it. But I would love to have seen their pre-workout, figuring out the scene, like blocking the scene. Because I heard that they actually threw real punches. Again, I don't know if that's true or not. But I would think that even though even though Chuck Norris is awesome, and he's the real deal, or he was, I know he's like in his late 70s now. But I think he would I think Bruce Lee would have just cleaned his clock. He sure did. He rocked that lip sweater good, dude. He's still rocking it. He's been rocking it since 78. Yeah, if that's what they told you, dude, I guess so. The sellers you are the one that's on the outside looking in. The seller's done everything they're supposed to do. They gave you the tracking number. You said you tracked it yourself. It's supposedly been delivered. It's not there. There's nothing eBay's going to do for you because I've been in that situation. Excuse me. But, I would just I would open up a claim online and just try to follow the process and see. You might also contact the seller and just be like, hey, I never got it. I put it in a claim for with my post office. Is there anything you could do for me? Is there anything where you can help me out? More than likely they're gonna say no, but you never know. Sometimes you get some really cool eBay sellers and they may have extras or doubles and they just resend it to you for no charge on shipping maybe. You just pay you for the shipping and you don't have to pay for the card again. I would do that. I've done that before for somebody. Somebody said they thought they got this and they got that, so I just was like, hey man, that's fine. I'll send it to you. Just pay for the shipping, now I'm sending it back out to you. So I would do that. Really? That sucks, dude. And I don't really know, dude. I feel like all the options I would have given you, you've done, and with unfortunately with no success. So yeah, I don't really know, dude. I feel like I wish I had something to tell you, but I don't really. I think that you've done everything I would have done. I think I just would have cut my losses at this point. You know, file the claim, and then just move on. I guess there's nothing else to be done. I mean, it sucks, and it's weird. I don't know why the post office isn't working with you more. Because, and I go, maybe you might need to talk to the post office again. Like talk to a different person, maybe. Talk to their manager or supervisor. And I think sometimes it depends on who you talk to, how much help they'll give you. If you're just talking to the lady or the guy at the front desk, they probably don't even care. Like they're just like, whatever. If you talk to the supervisor or manager, they might be able to help you. They might give you some more suggestions and say, hey, this is what you need to do or whatever. But I will tell you, about 6 months ago, I almost got scammed on Facebook. A lady, posing as a lady, it was probably, I'm sure it was a dude, wanted to do some kind of like mega trade. And I forgot what all they were going to give me, but it was like a bunch of like PC cards I love, like Ichiro, Larkin, Mattingly. And they, oh my gosh. No, go into the shop, dude. Go into your local post office. Don't call. Go in there and then file your grievance there and bring it up to him and say, hey, it says it's supposed to be here. It's not here. You all didn't do your job. It says it was delivered. It's not in my mailbox. Only you and me have the only 2 keys to get this in here. It's not there. So either they put it in the wrong box, which is possible, which is what Alex brought up, and I would talk to your neighbors and see if they have it. If they say they don't have it and they don't know what you're talking about, then you only recourse would be go back in there and say, hey, I talked to my neighbors. They don't have it. It's not in my mailbox. It said it was delivered. It had tracking, electronic tracking or whatever. It's not here. You all need to fix this. Put the smack down. Put the sniggity smack down. But to go back, this person said they're gonna give me all these cards, but they wanted them in trade. Essentially, my Frank Thomas collection, which is pretty massive. I don't really talk about my Frank Thomas collection all that much, but I have a ton of Frank Thomas cards. Like, you almost look like, at least when it comes to like inserts and base and oddball stuff, I might be a super collector of Frank Thomas. I just don't know how many. I've got like 15 pages, 20 pages of Frank Thomas cards. But anyways, I had sent all those cards. I put them in a box. I put everything in a box or in a binder or a envelope and sent all my Frank Thomas cards to this person in like West Virginia or somewhere. And then all of a sudden, like, I had this like sixth sense, this feeling from above that says something's not right. Because as soon as I sent them the tracking, they stopped talking to me. They said they keep forgetting to go to the post office, and they would do it tomorrow, or they were going to give it to their sister to do it or something. There was always an excuse for like a day or so. And I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's going to get, or this gal is going to get like my entire Frank Thomas collection, which is probably a few $100 easily. And so I went into the post office. They told me what I need to do. They said, go online, file a claim, and have it rerouted back to you. And I'm like, well, what's it going to cost me? And they're like, it'll cost you whatever it costs you to ship it. They're just going to charge you it again and have it shipped back to you, but you can reroute it. So I said, okay. So I went and did that. Got it rerouted. Contacted the person who was like, I went and got my cards rerouted because I think you're a lying scumbag. And all of a sudden they started talking to me. Oh, well, I told you I was going to send it out, and I just got busy, and blah 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 blah. But you could trust me. And I'm like, nope. And come to find out, they were indeed a scammer. They had scammed a bunch of other people. Luckily, I just figured it out the last second before I got screwed. And I was able to get my cards back, but man, I was freaking out. Because that would have been like tons of cards just down the drain. So yeah, man. But I tell that story to say there is definitely a way to get it done. Just contact them. There has to be another way, dude. I just don't understand. That sounds so lame. I would judo chop somebody there and be like, what are you talking about, Willis? How dare you tell me how to file a claim online? Online ain't the problem. It's somebody here at your office is the problem. Who's my mail delivery person because they're an idiot and they screwed this up? I will talk to that person. I find out who delivered your mail and be like, how do you screw this up? You had my mail. You delivered my mail and said that you brought it here and there was a scan that said it was delivered. Where is it? And then you'd follow them home and steal their mail and see how they like it. It's probably just a bunch of Victoria's Secret catalogs, but just take them. This sounds kind of disturbing. I don't know what in the world. Wolf in the Bend. But I'm gonna have to probably get off here in a few minutes, guys. My battery's about ready to die after an hour and 20 minutes or 16 minutes. So it's probably getting ready to die. I don't want to. I always hate when I have to do like diagonal, even though I mean at the end of the day it's whatever. So. Who's the person? What's their name? We're all friends here. We'll keep it quiet. Chucky Bronson. He just kept making these movies for canon until his death. I mean, you know, awful. Oh yeah, Dave Midlife Crisis. Surely he'd work with you, dude. Just contact him and say, hey man, what's happening? Chucky Bronson, Death Wish 4, The Crackdown. Some of the most gory movies of the 80s were these Charles Bronson flicks. He just go around blowing people away. They were like, dig Bronson out before he dies. Let's put him out here in another movie real quick. Before he dies. And that's what they would do. They put him in another movie and bring him out there. Whoops. Manny Machado, dude. All right, guys. And my battery. Oh, I see. Okay. I thought it was the same guy. Well, that's the problem right there. How can you trust a Jets fan? But yeah. Well, hey guys, it's almost 10 o'clock and my battery's about ready to die, so I know we're having fun, kicks and giggles over here, but I'm gonna go ahead and get out. Yeah, like Josh said, I'm getting ready to get out of here. It's time for me to hit the hay. I just stole that quote from you, dude. Sorry, but you beat me to it. So I'm gonna get on out of here. Maybe I'll do it again the next couple of days. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's always a fun time with whoever pops in and visits for a short time. I really appreciate it. Good night. Have a good evening, and don't miss me too much. See ya.